it's cool, I think it's funny, the way our friends all talk about money. This conversation gets too much, so won't you tell me, are you ready to talk about love?
I didn't see you there. It's me, Thomas Edward, also known as T. Welcome to another Spar update. I think this is part 3, but I did other videos before, so it could be part 5, part 6. So, just to start the video today, this is something I found on Facebook. I can't remember who posted it now. I know it was a lady. And this is from 1994, and you can see Riggs Close there. Riggs Close would have only been a few years old then, because Riggs Close was built in 1986. And you can see the old petrol station. Just there, and is it a Shell garage? Because it's yellow, isn't it? I can just see it on the picture, but it's really clear. But it's not quite clear enough to see if it's a Shell garage. But it's really good. And you can see there's a big tree there, and that tree for a long time you could see where that tree was down the back of the wall on Riggs Close. And then you can see all the building, and then you can see beyond it up the street. It's pretty good. So I thought I'd just pop it in here. So today. I thought we'll do a video because there's been a lot of changes since the video went out yesterday. I talked about the wall being demolished on the back of Riggs Close. Since that video has been done, because I filmed it a few weeks ago and it's only just come out, kind of thing. They've put the metal fencing up so they won't get rubble and stuff flying at them, and they don't have to look at it every day. Just a big metal fence. But what's really interesting about the metal fence is it's only done the first 2 houses on Riggs Close as you go in on the left. When you get to the other bungalows, they've still got see-through fencing on, Harris fencing, so they haven't got solid fencing yet, so I don't know if there's more to come. But they were doing a lot of digging down the back of those bungalows today. This plot's actually a lot bigger than you think. They've really dug into it and made it quite wide. And also the other difference is, site office is moved here. This is a bit of not really important really, but it's moved there because they've dug all this out. This is the culvert should be under here, what joins the park up to Windermere Road. And there's loads of talk where this culvert's going to go, and no one knows. Everyone I talk to says, well, they've got to do it, but no one knows where it's going to be. And there's no been evidence of it being happening, but unless there is, but it's not obviously on the surface yet. And so they've dug out here and put a load of hardcore down, and you can see where the original tarmac was, and now it's like 2 foot down. And they've moved the site office. I like the site office over there. The has 3 chairs and a bin. That's the smoking, well, the fagging bit that is, or the foreman can have a look. And they've got a special fence round it with a red gate. That's a bit fancy, isn't it? So behind the site cabin, and the nice chairs and the nice red gate, there's 3 massive bits of pipe. Well, they're not pipe. What it is, when you dig a massive hole, you insert these big round concrete, like pipe into it and stack it up, and like they'd have a manhole cover at the top and you climb down. Well, there's 3 of them behind the site office. Now that must be something to do with the culvert, but I don't know where it's going. And it's 3 layers, so that's really deep, that is. For that to go on the ground, that's, the biggest one's probably about 5 foot. And then they go down, and then they get down to the smallest one. So it's quite interesting. I wonder where that's going. So we'll have to see in coming days, coming weeks, where they go. Now, this is the groundworks guys. We're meant to be here for 8 weeks. They've already been here 4 weeks, so they've got another 4 weeks to go. So in those 4 weeks, we'll find out where they go before the builders come in. Unless they've overran a bit, and it could be 10 weeks. But we'll go and have a look round, because they've been doing a lot of interesting work at back, and we can get a better view on Windermere Road. So here on the other side, we're just on the approach up Windermere Road. This big JCB telehandler. Now today, I've got footage of this with one of these big water butts on the front, lifted up and it all splashing out onto the ground to stop dust, I think, and because it's very hot today and a lot of dust. It's not being damp at all. And then a man's been power washing with this big power washer, this big industrial power washer. But the thing is, I think that one at the back, he didn't let enough air come out top. It imploded on itself. So they were hitting it with a big bar because they couldn't get the lid off it. here, but they keep filling them up with water. I don't know where the water comes from. They must have a tanker turns up and fills them up. So that's what they're for. And look here, this is what I talked about in the last video. Look, all this wood, it's still here. And here, this is actually the back. Well, let me point. One of these posts here is actually the back of one of the houses in Riggs Close. It's actually someone's fence, that. Actually quite good poles there, aren't they? Not actually too rotten, but they're in there and they're all trashed now. Well, there's a few bit of wood in there. You could cut all that up. And this winter's fuel, that is winter fuel. But obviously that will just go to landfill. So we're just a bit further around from the skips, and these pipes here, I don't know where they keep finding them, but they just keep coming and coming and coming. Every time they dig another big hole, these pipes appear. And obviously this has been a garage on here a long time. It was a petrol station before it's becoming a new petrol station. So I don't know if that's to do with that or if it's really old drainage. But they're all full of concrete. They've all been filled in. But they keep finding them. But this is a good opportunity to show you here. The houses on the back of Riggs Close over there. Look how much they've dug out right up to their garden. I never knew how big that back bungalow was till they pulled the fence down. So it's quite interesting, that. And that's where all the wooden fences come from. Because if you pan there, there's a bit of fencing you can't see through. But then between the two houses there and Riggs Close, they've still got Harry's fencing what you can see through. So I don't know what they're doing. From Facebook, posted by Jeff Woods on the Grange-over-Sands group. Now this is an interesting photo because the tennis courts in the foreground are now Riggs Close. Used to be the tennis courts for Grange Hotel. But also if you look beyond the tennis courts, there's a couple of old running board cars actually parked on the garage, just garage on the corner where obviously all the diggers are today and where the new Spar will be. And you can see there's a little path what goes through from the tennis court down to the road, and then you can see the duck pond. So all this hardcore they've put down here, this is where they park all the site vehicles and all the bosses' cars parking here currently in the daytime. But here, this is where they started to dig a few weeks ago, what I showed on the last video. But this they've really dug down, and it's almost a channel from the looks of it. What pans right round and sort of there where that green bit of netting is, that's where the old culvert is. So I think they are starting to dig round this culvert. And there's also a bit of pipe there. Look, they keep finding it. When I say they keep finding pipe, there's some evidence for you. Look at that, just sticking up there, a bit of pipe. So I think they're getting on with it, but they'll have to go a lot deeper because that big manhole thing what's going to go in is really deep. So unless they're going in different places individually, and it won't be that deep, several places along this bit of land. But there you go, that is. And also I've got a tiny bit of footage there of these two big diggers here getting all that hardcore into the back of trucks. There's been a stream of Arctics going in and out today of filling them up, and then when the truck driver knows he's full, he beeps, and then the digger, he flattens it off on top, and then he beeps, and then that truck goes, and then another one comes. So that's what's been going on every day, I think. So there you go, really. It's all happening in Grange-over-Sands. Just like to thank Mr. Chippy for doing all the drone footage in today's video. There'll be quite a few little bits, so it's a new dynamic to a TE Spar update video. Right, if you've enjoyed TE's walk around, a bit of a tiny update, not a lot's massively happened, but there probably is a lot have happened, but you can't see it until it happens, kind of thing. They've been getting ready, so I think the big thing is as soon as they start digging this culvert up, then I think that will be the next video. We'll see that and see what's been going on with that and how they're going to join it up from the park end up to Windermere Road at this end and join it through the middle, because they've got to do all that before the builders come in and before they can start building a structure on it, erecting a structure on it. So that will be interesting to see. So if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, a comment below. There's also a Patreon link supporting days like this with me coming out showing it to you so you don't have to. And also remember to click that big bell. Ding! And that big bell, if you don't know, is for notifications, so you know when my video comes out next. If you enjoy these videos and would like to support me, TE, and also get some behind the scenes content, please consider joining Patreon.